one of the things that I know I always get is like, well, how do I start? Right. So the goal from my perspective today is that you can get off this session and go, okay, I have some place to go. And so the first thing I would start with is focus on one playbook at a time. It is important that you realize that you cannot create everything. Um, One of the ones that I always recommend to start with is your company because a lot of what you find needs to be defined more will go under the company one, but starting with the company one is a really great one. The other thing is that you may want to prioritize the order of the way you do these to help you and your business and where you are in this very moment. Um, Identify the places of urgency or inefficiencies if you're already in business. So that's a perfect spot. So if you're like, okay, well, Jennifer, you said for me to do this. So what am I doing after here? So look at where you're having particular issues or concerns in your business. So even if it's like a cash flow issue, maybe you have to step back and look at something there. If you've noticed issues with customer service or your team, these might be great places to start to figure out like what needs to be worked on. It's really important when you're doing things like this to set goals. I think the thing that we all have to remember is there needs to be goals and an understanding of deadlines. Deadlines mean that I'm going to commit to saying the first draft of this is done. So that's an important point that I make in this over here on the right side to remember is that you can you have to keep in mind that this is a living document in your business. You're going to iterate it, and it is one of the things that's going to be necessary for your success is to make adjustments. But if you don't put a deadline onto when you're going to start doing this and using it, then you're never going to be able to improve on it. So I think it's really important that you set that deadline. Don't go it alone. Use your own team if you have a team. But those of you who are starting out, this is a perfect reason why we have partnerships with Score, right? So Score is a perfect place to go and sit down and talk through, one of your playbooks. And, that way you have fresh eyes that can look at the playbook with you and talk to you about what's going on. It might also be something you bring to a peer group if you're in one. But at the end of the day, if this isn't something you're going to do with your team, it is something that you really should get some support on. Um, Little like side note, but like our human resource, playbook, I did not do that by myself. I actually asked my senior team to do it with us because I don't have to have the same policies applied to me in quite the same ways because I own the company. So I really wanted to make sure when we made our HR version of this, and it is a playbook and not a policy. It has policies in it, but I bring that up because, there are other things in there that are very specific to what relates to us as a company and our values. And that's kind of why I like to say, trickles down.